Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we have another humble bundle of interest to game developers. This one is the Blender Core Skills, the Ultimate Blender Basics Bundle, and you're wondering exactly what that means. Well, this is a collection of courses from CG Cookie. Now, CG Cookie are one of the most popular Blender trainers out there, so if you've been looking at trying out their stuff, this could be a good way to do it, because basically, the way CG Cookie works is it's a subscription-based service. So here, for less than 1 month of their subscription, you're getting instead a snapshot of their courses. Now, one of the problems, of course, with Blender is it changes over time. So these are a little bit older. I believe the majority are Blender 2.8, but with the topics they've covered here, the most of them are still relevant to the current version. So the UI might have tweaked a little bit, but you'll still learn valuable things from these courses. And they covered a pretty good swath of basic introductory topics. So another thing you might want to notice with this bundle is there are no tiers. So basically, it is a $15 USD bundle. So you pay 15 bucks or $20.35 Canadian, you get these 8 courses. I'll show you exactly how that works in a second. But first, in terms of the courses, what is covered here? Modifiers, fundamentals of animation in Blender, fundamentals of rigging in Blender, digital lighting in Blender, texturing in Blender, shaders, materials. So this is one of those areas that's definitely going to have changed a lot. And same here, digital sculpting. Now the techniques are going to be the same, but the sculpting tools have come a long way in Blender in recent years. And then finally, fundamentals of 3D mesh modeling, which honestly should be kind of consistent. Mesh modeling is mesh modeling. It hasn't changed a whole lot other than small tweaks to the tools, etc. So that is the courses that you are getting here. In terms of where you get them, well, you redeem them on their site. So basically, you get a link with a bundle. You'll have a code, a redemption code that you get. They'll send you over to this site. So when you click the link, you will get this, and then you're going to see a breakdown. So here are the instructors in this list, if you're familiar with the CG Cookie staff. 8 different CG course cookies, CG Cookie courses will be available here. Again, sculpting, materials and shading, texturing, lighting, rigging, and so on. So you'll see getting in this as a variety of zip files. You go ahead and say add this to your cart. So they're valuing it at $279, which is again a little misleading because they are a subscription-based site. That's more like the cost of a year of subscription, which I guess would make sense. But what happens once you've redeemed that is it sends you over here, and then you now have them all available. Now, you may be wondering, okay, how does this work? Well, you go ahead, you can download them. So I've actually already done so. You see here, this is what a particular course looks like. It's basically just a collection of MP4s in sequence, so 01, 02, 03, so on. So if you want to learn about the gimbal view cursor, for example, here you go.
Types are a lot less common. You'll see that oval direction.
And you see an example of the particular coverage here. So that is a subset of one course. Now, this particular course itself had multiple sections. So you can see here, there's zip 1, 2, and 3. And then also the source and resource files are available sometimes as well. So if you want to follow along or you need the source files, you can see a couple times they are there. Now, you may be wondering, okay, what are their servers like for downloading these things? That is always a good question. So let me go out of full screen mode. We will pick this 1 gigabyte here, the texturing part 4. It's pretty randomly. And here you see it's downloading at 35 megabyte per second. So if you've got fast enough internet, this stuff comes down pretty darn quick. So you'd grab it yourselves. It is all hosted on the CG Cookie web servers, not on the Humble Bundle site itself. I would have actually preferred Humble Bundle just because I got so much stuff there already. So you are going to have to create an account. There's nothing involved with it. There wasn't even like verification of my email address as part of the creation process. But you do have to create an account and a login. It's literally just give them an email address, a username, and password, and you're good to go. And boom, you get all of this stuff. So it's done via a redemption key setting. Now, back to the course itself. I'm going to show you something here in terms of, so here is the 3D modeling one. You click here, it will bring you more details of that particular course, but the thing I want to point out is mostly this part. So the way you would normally pick up this course is you would subscribe to CG Cookie. So there's where the value proposition comes in. For $15 USD, you're getting a sampling of courses. Some of them, again, Blender 2.8 or hopefully newer, nothing older than Blender 2.8, and 2.8 is definitely where the biggest changes happen. But here's how their normal pricing would work for access to the entirety of their stuff, plus a few plugins, etc. You would be looking at $230 a year on a subscription, or at $22.99 USD a month. So this is, again, about 65% of the cost of a monthly trial. and you can obviously do it at your own pace. So that's what you can kind of look at this one. And it's kind of like, again, an a la carte or a sampling of their courses that are available. So you can even just use this as a quick preview to see if you like CG Cookie stuff. But the nice thing here is they are covering the fundamentals or the basics of Blender. So if you've been looking for some Blender stuff, people generally like CG Cookie. I actually asked that question to you guys in this video. Have you gone through CG Cookie stuff? What do you think of it? I have never experienced their courses, so I can't really give you an opinion either way. I just looked at them very briefly since this bundle came out. So again, I can't tell you the quality level of it, but I know CG Cookie is generally pretty well regarded, but I'm curious what your experiences are there and what you think of this. Also, what do you think of the fact that Humble seems to be offering more and more of these single tier bundles? I actually kind of find it interesting because they're branching into new areas. By the way, with Humble, you decide how your money is allocated between Humble, charity, the publisher, and if you so choose to do. And thank you so much if you do to help support Game from Scratch using the links down below. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Blender Core Skills, the Ultimate Blender Basics Bundle. The pros, decent price, one-time download, simple to get in there, good broad coverage of Blender topics. The downside, again, mostly Blender 2.8. So you'll decide if that is a big hang-up for you. So if you're trying to learn things, again, like geometry nodes, really into the shader stuff, and that stuff has changed quite extensively. You're also going to find that the new sculpting tools are quite a bit different than they were back then. But the majority of this stuff is still going to be quite relevant. But that is definitely one of the negatives on this bundle. So let me know what you think. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.